today to show you how to install a Monroe Quick-Strut assembly on a vehicle where the OE strut is simply too long to remove easily. This commonly occurs on applications like this 2004 Ford Taurus SES. Due to the strut length, service professionals are often frustrated when replacing the vehicle's struts. It requires a few additional steps during the installation process, but no expensive tools are needed. Let's jump right into our Monroe Quick-Strut assembly installation. We'll show you how to drop the subframe to easily remove the long strut. When you remove the wheel for service, always be sure to mark the stud nearest the tire valve stem. This mark will serve you when you reinstall the wheel. Lining up the marks prior to reinstallation will help preserve the wheel balance. Remove the lug nuts and pull the wheel off the vehicle. Locate the anti-sway bar end stabilizer linkage. Unbolt it from the strut. Let's remove the small bolt holding the brake line to the strut next. Then pull the brake line bracket off the strut. On the Taurus, the strut fits into a cinch cup. Remove the single bolt and try to drop the spindle. Sometimes it'll be necessary to use a plastic or brass mallet to drop the spindle. You'll notice the lower control arm physically prevents the strut from coming out of the cinch cup. Look under the hood. There should be 3 mounting studs. These are the upper mounting studs. Remove the plastic harness off the stud next. Warning, do not loosen or remove the center rod nut. Remove 2 upper mounting studs and loosen the 3rd stud, making sure to keep at least a few threads engaged so the strut can pivot but won't fall through the strut tower. You'll need to remove the plastic air dam located under the front of the car. There are 4 screws on the back, plus 8 going around the front bumper cover. Remove all of these and slide the plastic air dam out toward the back of the vehicle. You must now install 2 jacks or jack stands under the subframe to support the weight. Then you can lower the vehicle's subframe by loosening 2 of the subframe mounting bolts. Warning, only one side of the subframe should be loosened and secured at a time. Slowly unscrew the 2 subframe mounting bolts holding the subframe. Make sure at least 3 to 5 threads remain engaged on the 2 bolts. Slowly lower the jack holding the subframe. Take it slow and lower them one at a time. If using jack stands, slowly raise the vehicle with a floor jack. When the subframe is resting on the loosened subframe bolts, move back over to the strut. Now the lower control arm should allow enough clearance to remove the strut from the cinch cup. Before you remove the strut assembly, make sure to tie the spindle up with a wire supporting its weight so that the half shaft doesn't separate or slide out of the transaxle. When you've secured the spindle, remove the remaining upper mounting nut and the strut assembly. Let's take a look at the Monroe Quick-Strut assembly for this application. These strut assemblies are designed to be a quick, safe, and easy install. There's no need to take apart the existing strut assembly, no need to compress the coil spring, and no expensive single-use tools are needed. The Monroe Quick-Strut assembly is a complete, ready-to-install replacement strut assembly. To install the Quick-Strut assembly, you'll begin by installing the 3 upper mounting studs into the 3 holes in the strut tower. Install the first nut by hand, ensuring 3 to 6 threads are engaged. Place the base of the strut assembly into the cinch cup. Make sure the alignment tab lines up with the cinch cup slot. Begin by using a jack to lift the subframe. Please note, do not use the bolts, as this may cause the threads to strip. Once the subframe is in its original position, tighten the subframe bolts and torque them to 76 foot-pounds. Slide the plastic air dam back in place and tighten all of its screws. Inspect the cinch cup bolt. If it looks too rusty or stripped, consider replacing it with a lower mounting bolt kit, part number AK68 for this 2004 Ford Taurus SES. Next, let's align the hole in the cinch cup with the hole in the strut bracket and install the lower mounting bolt. Now it's time to reconnect the brake line bracket and the anti-sway bar end stabilizer linkage. Before you move on, tighten and torque all of these bolts. Torque the anti-sway bar end stabilizer linkage nut between 35 and 48 foot-pounds. Torque the brake line bracket bolt to 11 foot-pounds. Torque the cinch cup bolt between 70 and 95 foot-pounds. Now it's time to replace the wheel, aligning the valve stem with the studs you marked at the beginning. Tighten the lug nuts in a star pattern. You're ready to lower the vehicle and tighten the 3 upper mounting plate bolts. Torque them to 20 foot-pounds. Now would also be a good time to torque the lug nuts to 95 foot-pounds. That's it. We've completed the Monroe Quick-Strut assembly installation on a 2004 Ford Taurus SES. Now you should align the vehicle and it will be ready to go. For more information about Monroe Quick-Strut assemblies, please visit www.monroe.com.